mamma mia! Every single time you think of Super Nintendo, you think of one distinct game, and that game is Super Metroid. Playing through this game through my childhood later on, though, not as it came out because I was too poor. Anyway, game basically is this. It is just stunning, with a lot of visuals and graphical advancements that made the Super Nintendo up to its, well, prime? Yeah, Metroid joke. Anyway, this game offers a lot. It offers great stereo sound, it offers amazing music, which of course goes perfect with the setting for each area you enter. The bosses, I thought, were amazing in this game. A lot of gameplay in this game really consists on finding hidden areas to get to these new points, of course, and using little new gadgets you get along the way as well. The long story of this game is, it is definitely worth the Wii points you purchase it with. A lot of your friends probably told you, your older friends told you, and your newer friends are probably going to tell you this game is worth the purchase. If you're a, well, Castlevania Symphony of the Night fan, this game will meet your standards if you're more of a Star Trekkie. This game versus Symphony of the Night, though, I couldn't really put a contest due to the fact that I thought Symphony of the Night versus this game is not really a fair contest because both games are just equally great. You know, you couldn't stack them up against each other. It was too much of an even battle. However, though, I could say one thing that Castlevania had over, obviously, Super Metroid from the time being was that Symphony of the Night had, of course, more equipment, of course, obviously because you're doing this more of an RPG feel to the game. As with Samus, you're really just finding power-ups, which was really kind of the same ordeal, I think, in a sense of RPG elements. You know, you find your armor throughout the areas, you equipped it accordingly, you get your power-ups, your stats, and all that. You know, it's typically an RPG in a nutshell. But, long story short, this game is amazing. It has everything that you would want from a game to spend your time for. If you're a master at games, you probably master this game, but heck, it'd be good to try to speedrun it, right? As for me, I'm pretty moderate at the game. I'm not amazing, but I gotta say this game is great for all challenge levels. I say purchase this game for a consistent amount of money, but hey, you know, it's worth the purchase. If you actually own the actual cartridge like I do, then, you know, you're not really missing much. But buy it again anyway, you know, save your money and you can place that game in a nice little dust collector and, you know, put it in a shelf. So you can be proud of your game collecting, you freaks out there. Anywho, this game is worth the purchase, and yeah, that's basically it, folks. That's totally it. Good graphics, great gameplay, makes you come back for more, plenty to uncover and unlock for secret areas. It's replayable, meaning you can go through the entire map and find hidden areas you missed in the previous encounter. And, of course, you can challenge yourself by doing various things in the game, like, of course, wall jumping and all that. But, anywho, that's enough for me. Take it easy, guys, and here's a advertisement from our sponsors. Something brings about you. Crap Girls Gone Wild brings you 10 Girls. But of course, no, we can't of course release that course because that girl's such a young girl. So now we have to release another game called the DanVanDam Wii Points Edition. But of course, it's explicit. Of course, the creator of this game is not, of course, real. And of course, this game is never ever going to be ever produced. So please stop watching this commercial right now. Thank you, and have a good day.
Crash here telling you to come check us out at www.thegamersgarage.com, where we discuss all consoles and handhelds across all platforms, covering rumors, reviews, and general industry news. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a review.
Hello, Wii fans. I got a question from WarioFan259. He was asking me, do you think that Mario's Time Machine is going to be released for the Virtual Console? For a future release, possibly. Now, of course, he's asking exclusively about the NES version, which released in 1994, which, of course, though, was released, of course, after the Super Nintendo version, which was shit, the PC version, which was decent, and the NES version, which was more, a little bit more polished, I believed. Long story short, if they released the number game that Donkey Kong was in, they're sure as heck gonna release a time machine some point in the future. If you know Nintendo, they know how to cash in as much money and put as many chips down on the table as they can before they go down in the blazing glory. Personally, though, I would love to see the game on the Virtual Console and actually be able to play it again. But seeing I don't really own a Virtual Console or the Wii, I can just personally say, though, from my gaming experience from playing the game, it would be worth actually putting on the Virtual Console. A lot of people gave the game crap and criticized it, which, by the way, folks, I think it's abandonware by now for the PC, so you can probably play the PC version for free, or, well, the other ones for free, too, if you're that kind of person. But, I personally think it is very worth the cash, personally. I'm not sure if Wario feels the same. Actually, yes, he kind of does. What am I saying? But, long story short, I am really happy to the fact that someone actually brought up a game that's not quite common out of people's mouths. Personally, I don't really hear a lot of people talk about Wario's, educational games at all. There's a lot of games that have never been really mentioned, like Mario's Game Gallery, Preschool Fun, various games. Teaches Typing is one of the first games I played, which was like a demo off this, it was an Interplay CD, I think it was. When I was younger, I was on the PC, I played it. That game was just fun when I was a kid. Every single time you did something right, you stomped on a Goomba or a Koopa. It was so fun. But, anyway, guys, I gotta say, though, I agree with him. The NES version was the best. But, the answer to your question, again, is possibly yeah. If you saw the Donkey Kong math game get released, you're obviously going to see this game get released. If not on the Super Nintendo version, which, of course, if they do that, that'd be the stupidest thing Nintendo ever did in their lives, because that game was just broken. A lot of people complained with it, though, and it takes a lot of patience, though, and people don't have patience or have ADHD or whatnot. Personally, I thought the Super Nintendo version was pretty educational for me. It was a little bit slow and tedious at some points, but it wasn't really that bad as people were crapping down its throat for. Younger crowd give it crap. For me, it's more a relaxed game for me to enjoy. You pick apples for people and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. You turn dials to go to time spots. You answer riddles with time trivia. It's really such a fun game, Long story short, you go after Koopa, but this time you learn something along the way, which I thought that was more of a very valued thing for family. And I honestly think this game would be worth the time to check out at least. But yeah, thanks again, Wario. Wario259. Wario Fan 259, I'm bad. I always screw that up on people's names and I feel bad about it. Anyway, thank you again, Bud, for asking and my thoughts of if it's going to be released or not. And yeah, that's really basically it.